Hi. What is it, Monday? Yeah. Is there an echo? Yeah. All right. How's it going, everybody? Dude, I had I took the weekend off, which I probably will do going forward. Who fucking wants this shit 7 days a week? I mean, I don't know. Maybe some weekends I'll fucking be bored and super lonely. No, um, I think it's probably nice to take a weekend off and come back. This weekend, I had pretty much to take off. I had a wedding to attend, which I guess we'll get into that a little bit, but um, it'd be funny if it was my own and I was that casual about it. I'm like, yeah, I had a wedding to go to. I mean, it was mine anyway. And then I just complained about the food for like 3 hours. It was one of my closest friends. She got married. Technically, it was like a year ago during the pandemic, and it was just like a quick, you know, courthouse legal thing just to do it. And then basically the ceremony was this weekend, which like so much less pressure and the way everyone should do it. Like what to take a load off, go down to the courthouse, sign some fucking papers, and then essentially just have a giant party, however many days later. Um, learned something about learned a couple things I think about myself. I do not like going to weddings. Now I went because one of my best friends, and I was obviously not going to skip. You put your feelings aside about how events or this. It's like, no, you fucking put on the suit and go. And I got into it more. It's weird because I got into the event more than I thought I would, but I still completely feel the same way about going to a wedding. Invite me. Don't expect me to go. Definitely tell me you want me to go, and then I'll receive that and go, oh. But then we'll both understand that I shouldn't go, and you'll be happy I didn't go, and then you can fucking invite the next person that's didn't make your list because of budget restrictions and destination blah blah blah, and then fucking invite them. I think that should be part of the email, right? If you invite someone to a wedding, have the understanding that fucking no one outside of your family wants to go anywhere for anything. um, no one wants to go to a wedding, not even their own, probably. Um, but of course you will go, you will put aside your feelings. But in the email, it's like, listen, I'm inviting you because this, but obviously it doesn't fucking matter if you don't come, That should be in there. It's you get the invite. Will you attend? Yes, no, come on, really? That should be the third one. And then there's no question as to where you stand. Will you attend the wedding? Yes, no. I mean, come on. Is the third one. Yes, no. Who were we kidding? Is the third one. Something to that effect should be in there. And then we can all just fucking... I spent half the wedding watching it through fucking people's... I was at a concert. I was like watching it through a phone just so I could see what was going on. Yeah, I mean, these days too, if you like miss a wedding, you like everyone has a hashtag to their own wedding. So you could just stay home and then just like this is like deciding between going to a music festival or not. You're just like, yeah, I can go. It's gonna be hot. There's fucking like 80 rows to get. I'm gonna watch it on the screen anyway. So just stay home, look up the hashtag, and then just watch it from home. Um, yeah, I got into it still, like the ceremony part, because, and this is weird, probably. This is like probably a case of like, some kind of arrested development in terms of my social circles. I'm 39. This is the first really close friend, really close, who's gotten married. Like I have a lot of married friends, but the first one where I'm like, oh yeah, I've like been there since like she was in fucking before she graduated college, and now she's like a grown up getting married. This probably I should have my first one of these should have been like 10 years ago or some shit, but like I'm a comedian. We're all fucking dumb degenerate idiots. So, and this friend is like she's a civilian. She has like a regular job. She doesn't care or do anything in entertainment, and neither does her husband. And so it was kind of like refreshing to be around like normal life, because like I don't live one. I don't live a normal, and blah blah blah. What is normal? So fuck off. You know what I mean? It's kind of like going to a wedding on another planet in a way. We're like, look at these traditions and customs, and like all these other couples here are like totally married too, and they have like advice to give. Like if I didn't have, what advice do I have? Oh, stay married. Don't be me. That's my advice. Act not like me at all. That's my advice for you to stay married. Don't be a comedian. Don't all of a sudden get into stand up or acting or writing or anything. Um, yeah, it's strange because every once in a while you're like, yeah, I'm an adult now. You're like, I got it. I don't have a house. I'm not married. I'm not this. But it's like, there's different kinds of adults. And then you go to a wedding and you're like, I am an immature loser failure. What the fuck? Look at all these people with their nice suits and they're fucking talking about homes and they got kids and shit. And I don't want any of that. I don't want kids. I don't fucking care if I get married. Who cares? But it is funny when you're like immerse yourself in like another, you know, in just the way the other side of the world, the non-artistic, creative side lives. You're like, oh yeah, they got it together. But that's fun. The other thing I learned, and this wasn't like a life kind of at large thing. This is specifically pandemic related. I am like socially way out of shape. I'm I'm out of stranger shape, people shape, all of it shape. Um, I started getting myself back into physical shape right when the gyms started opening, and that started feeling good. And like I got super fucking into yoga. I love yoga. So I started feeling good physically, mentally. I need that shit. I need like physical, just fucking. I need it to feel mentally good. To me, that's the number one is like working out, long distance biking and yoga now are like good for here. And then just like, bonus side effects are your body looks and feels better. That's to me is like second place. So I started, getting back into physical shape and stuff. And I went to the rehearsal dinner for the wedding, and fuck, man, I either felt like I was 85 or just I've been in a cave for like 5 years. An hour into it, I'm like, it is crowded. Like I couldn't get past the amount of people. And it was like a small upstairs thing at a Korean barbecue restaurant. And there were like 80 something, 90 people there. And I was just like, and I've attended concerts with 15,000 people. You don't think about it, but this I'm like, there's a lot. I mean, they're so close, and that guy just put his chopsticks into the same bowl I'm gonna. Like all these things were just like, just like red lights and sirens going off, and in terms of like safety and that kind of shit. And everyone was fully vaxxed, like you had to be in order to go, and it was still. But then, like, sitting there and talking to people, I was like, I didn't have the energy. And I'm already socially very awkward, in terms of like small talk and like getting to know a stranger. I mean, in some ways, it's like less awkward just to be like, hi. And then you sit down and then you just kind of don't fucking say anything to each other. I mean, I will, it's, but I guess I could go either way and neither would be weirder than the other. And I think most people would think it would be so weird to sit across from someone and not be like, so the weather, or like that particular sports team and their record this season. A lot of times that's more awkward, unless one exception, it's an old person. Love small talk with an old person because they fucking, that's all they got energy for anymore, and they like it. So that's when I'll just fucking go all in on like, I can't believe how humid it. I know. It's just like yesterday. And then you compare like yesterday's weather and today. You believe it? I mean, I almost wore a jacket. It's September and the fall and it's wind and just all in. Like it's like breaking news. That's fun to do with like a fucking super old person. I don't even know what tomorrow will look like, and they're just like, I didn't even think of that. And then, you spend 30 straight minutes talking about fucking snow or something. Yeah, when do you think the first snow will be? And then they'll like reflect on other snows from 4 decades. Oh, the snow back in the 70s. Let me tell you this. Back in 1973, and I remember this, the snow felt snowier. Like they'll say shit like that and they'll mean it and they'll want you to respond. And then you just got to go, wow, really? I've always wanted to know what 70s snow was like. Tell me more. But if someone like if a 35-year-old, like if I was sitting across the table from them at a wedding or any event, and they were like, man, I wonder where this humidity is coming from. I'd be like, I don't know, the fucking earth and the way it's always been. What's wrong with you? Haven't you read anything? Let's talk about literally anything else. Nope. How dare you bring up something like that if you're 35? 75, I'd be like, dude, what do you think's going on with it? What was the humidity like in like 68? You remember 68? Like, let's talk about the humidity. Let's talk about spring in 68. What was that like? But yeah, I'd like to stay fucking quiet. But you got to put on the fucking, it's your friend's wedding. You got to be there for it on all levels. And in the same way, like you get on a treadmill or, do a yoga class or go on a bike ride, you feel like you're like, yeah, I got it. It's like it was before. And then like 3 miles in, you're like, oh man, my fucking quads are tightening up already. I'm like a little winded. Shit, I am out of shape. I felt like that emotionally and psychologically. I was just like, yeah, I can't remember when we originally met. Yeah, it was probably like 15 years ago. And then like the topics change. Have you seen this TV show? I'm like, no, I haven't really been watching much. What was it called again? Like I'm losing track of like who's talking about what. Someone brought up fucking Ted Lasso, and I feel like they were talking about it for 6 hours. It was probably 6 minutes, which is 5 more minutes than you should spend talking about Ted Lasso or a Lasso or anyone named Ted or any TV show. If someone was like, hey, I haven't seen that, you go, oh, you should watch it. It's really good. And then withhold from explaining the themes and storylines and what it did to you. It's like, I get it. It's good. It's about kindness. People like it. Today because it's good. Done. I know. If I haven't seen it, I did see the pilot episode and I was just like, I don't care to watch anymore. And I could be wrong, and I don't fucking care. There are 1,000 shows. I haven't seen most of them. They're technically on my list. There's a fucking million movies in the classics that I'd rather get to before Ted fucking Lasso. But I get it. It's about kindness and it's positivity and it's grounded and real and the same description of a million shows. But no, it's better than a million shows. Okay, you made your point. It's good. Now, I almost want to talk about the fucking weather. People keep talking about Ted Lasso. It's going to be up there with like the weather and sports and traffic pretty soon. Because we get it in the same way. But, you know, I saw the pilot. I don't know if I'm going to watch anymore. But good for you for liking it. Good for you for diving into fucking kindness and positivity. It's like, yeah, after the last 4 years, of course this show's a runaway hit. Like, you're almost like patting yourself on the back for being so into a show about kind. I'm so into kindness. Look at me being kind and loving kind. Like, you'd have to be a fucking sociopath not to have gotten into a show about kindness. I watched the pilot. I'm like, yeah, I see what they're doing. Cool. But I'm like, I don't need that right now. Like, I get it. I got enough kindness going on. It's like the people that really went for it. It's almost just like, what was it, like a relief to you that you were into it? Like you didn't think you had the capacity anymore or some shit? I don't know, but good job loving that show and its uplifting themes. Pat yourself on the back. Each episode, just for a fucking hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is. Anytime someone also has to go, look, and it's only 30 minutes, that's probably not a great sign, right? I mean, it's not the worst sign, but if it's good, you don't even need to say how long. If anything, you should be like, and too bad it's only 30 minutes. So I don't know. Maybe I'll fucking watch it. Maybe I won't. Or we'll watch more of it. But yeah, man, I'm out of people shape. I didn't want to like. It's not even that I didn't want to talk about anything. I just got so overwhelmed so fast. It's like, I mean, if the food wasn't so fucking good, I don't know how much I would have been able to handle. You know, and everyone was nice. Like, I didn't even have a problem with the people. You know, we were sitting there like, yeah. And it's just like the music, the conversation, like the people like laughing and the clanking of glasses and forks and this. And I was just like, I couldn't wait to get the fuck out of there. We left at 11 p.m. It went from like 8 to 11. I thought it was 4 a.m. And we get out there and I was like, oh man, you know, should probably take a train. They're probably not running as often. And then I look at my watch. I'm like, it's not even midnight. What? Who am I anymore? I mean, I'll like, you know, normally I'll have like a set to do at 11. Like my night is getting going. So I don't know what that means. Like, do I need to get myself in people shape, or should I just be like, you know, I'm starting to get to the age where it's like, maybe I'm less social now. I don't need to be out. Maybe I'll just like, this is how I transitioned into this. You know, it happened to be in a pandemic, and be like, you know, maybe I will just stay home more. Maybe I will be the guy that gets there early and leaves early, which I've started to do more at parties ever since I quit drinking. It's the best. Party starts at 8, right? Goes till one of those ones that says till whenever. Get there at 8:15, leave at 10:15. You get the early wave, who it's usually people, it's like, I haven't seen you in a while. They're like the kids or some shit. And then you hang out with them for a minute. Then the people start trickling in, and then you leave right as it's like cresting, right at the peak where there's just like a bunch of people, you can Irish goodbye that shit. You saw who you needed to see, mingled, said hi, you're fucking out the door. And if anyone asks a question, this won't work for you like it will for me. But this go, oh, so soon. And you go, got a set. I got to do stand. Oh, work. If there's anything else, I'd be like, just do it later. Unless, and I guess the non-comic version would be like the kids if you have them. That's always a great out. Babysitters, fucking after 2 hours, she starts hitting our kids. So we really got to get there. It's, at the 2 hour mark, she'll start punching our child. So we got to get there. Yeah, that's my favorite way to do parties now. Just fucking dip in, dip out, home before midnight. Or even if I have a set at 10:30, home before midnight. It's great. But maybe I'll just be that guy now. Because honestly, dude, I had dinner yesterday at 4:15 p.m. My best friend is in town, and he was like, dude, we got to eat at Peter Luger. And I was like, oh, yeah, I still haven't been there. And he's like, I made a reservation, but like the only one they had was 4:15. So I guess it'll be like a late lunch, early dinner. I'm like, that's kind of weird, but we went to that rehearsal dinner, then the wedding. So it's like, I don't have a crazy appetite anyway. Like maybe that'll just be my only meal. And we went in, and when you're inside, it feels like the ambiance of a steak house, strip house, whatever you want to call it, feels like nighttime, even if it's 10 a.m. So we're in there, we're fucking chopping into a fucking steak. Yeah, we're having the thing. Oh man, I'm so full. Oh, that felt so good. What a great dinner. And then we open the door to just like glare. What the fuck? It's 5:10? It was like you forget. And I'm like, and we were so full, right? But I was like, actually, that's pretty cool. Because now we can like walk around. It's broad daylight. If you have another errand to run, guess what? You can still do it. And you can walk off the food. Like the worst is like heavy dinner. Then you get home and you're like, oh man, I gotta like fall asleep with this fucking bowling ball in my stomach. But we walked that shit off. Went to Astoria. Got this great dessert that I really like called knefe, which is like a Lebanese like sweet cheese with like a semolina something top. I always forget what it's made of, but it is the fucking best. And it's the best version I've had anywhere in the world. It's in Astoria. It's called Al-Sham, Al-Sham. It's a work of art. So we have that. We're walking around. We watch the end of the Rams game. It's like 8. And I'm not hungry. It's like, yeah, that filled me up. I'm only through the night. And then by the time I was like ready for bed, I was like, oh, I feel fine. I woke up as if I didn't eat a fucking massive steak yesterday. These old people, they're onto something. Early dinner, get in, get out. I think, you know what? I think I want to be old one day. That's dumb. But yeah, man, I appreciate a wedding a little bit more, the ceremony part. But I still, like, I used to just hate the whole, I'm like, I don't care about fucking any of this. But I appreciate it more now. It's like, you kind of get to see the cycle of adulthood, and you get to sit in that moment for a bit, and you feel happy for your friend, and then you kind of get to go like, oh yeah, man, look at like where we came from and what we've done and where we are. And it's I don't know, it was like I started like tearing up a bit, and it's just like a nice feeling, because you get caught up in all this, you get caught up in life, and then it was like a nice moment to stop and just be like, yeah, everyone's like doing their thing and people seem happy, and my friend is now entering a new chapter in her life and she's just fucking beaming. And you just sort of forget about everything else for a little bit and you're just like, yeah, this is good. This is nice. This is nice. No matter what else is going on, like right now is nice. Now where's the fucking food? And then we were out of there, man. It was good. So that was my whole weekend. It was just like wedding shit. And I slept like a fucking log last night. It was great. It felt good. I'm ready to start the week. I got a set tonight, New York Comedy Club, East Village, 9 p.m. And then I got another one on Thursday, 9 p.m., East Village, New York Comedy Club. So if you're in New York, come out to that. What else, man? I've been doing like a ton of these, you know, just little micro fucking, what do you call them? Pods, micropods. This is the 11th one. So if you haven't subscribed, go figure that out. This on YouTube or any of the audio. This will be released as is audio. Yeah. So get on board. And I'll see you tomorrow.
It's the end of the show. Like, subscribe, comment, don't be a dick.